Hi guys. So let me say this gently because this conversation needs gentleness. A lot of the harm people experience in the name of Islam is not Islam, it's culture. And what makes it worse is when culture is used as a shield to justify behavior that Islam itself clearly condemns. And you know what? Let's be honest. Some of the worst things done to people today are not done despite religion. They are done in the name of it. And today I want to talk about something sensitive but necessary. You know, how people love mixing culture with Islam. You know, to justify their wrong actions, to hide behind religion so nobody questions them. This video is not an attack on Islam, and it's not an attack on culture either. It's about separating the two because mixing them causes real harm. It's about protecting Islam from being used as a weapon against people, especially women. Let's start with one of the most common ones: silencing women. You know, like if you know me, you know that anything that's got to do with women, you will find me right there, like I die there. Anything that's got to do with oppressing women, subjecting them to domestic violence, mistreatment, emotional abuse, misogyny, like oh my god. This is something I am gonna keep speaking against and criticizing till I can talk no more. And that is never ever gonna happen. Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking. You know, if a woman speaks up about emotional pain, she is told, fear Allah. A good woman doesn't speak like that. You know, these people will be like, Islam doesn't allow women to talk like that. So those Muslim brothers and sisters of mine portraying Islam in a bad way in the eyes of non-Muslims, tainting Islam black, you know, quote an ayah from the Holy Quran and show me where it says that a woman should not speak up against injustice. Or from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, from his sayings, from his actions, show me. I need proof. You know what? Islam is a religion based on justice, mercy, accountability, compassion, love, peace, consideration. Culture, on the other hand, is flawed. You know, it is shaped by humans, history, power, and sometimes ego. Here's the truth. Islam does not teach silence in the face of oppression. Speaking against injustice is a core value. What people are really afraid of is not disrespect. They are afraid of responsibility. They are afraid of accountability. Because Islam allows a woman to speak against injustice and oppression even if the oppressor is family. That's what Islam is all about. Islam does not silence women. And another big one, emotional abuse disguised as male authority. Control, monitoring movements, isolating women from family and friends, criticism, constant criticism, gaslighting. And when it's questioned, the answer is usually the man is the head of the house in Islam. We are not against that, but leadership in Islam is not dictatorship. It's responsibility, it's kindness, it's mercy. If your leadership can destroy somebody's mental health, that is not leadership, that is mental abuse. That is abuse. You are abusing that person emotionally, mentally, physically. That is not leadership. That is not how it's done in Islam. That is not Islam. That is not the teachings of Islam. You are doing something else. Now, let's talk about forced or pressured marriages. Families push someone into a marriage they don't want. And when the person resists, they are told this is Islam. This is not Islam. Consent is mandatory in Islamic marriages. Consent is compulsory in Islamic marriages. Fear is not consent. Emotional blackmail is not consent. Pressure is not consent. It's just culture protecting itself. That is not Islam. that is not the religion of Islam. And why is it that people love policing women and excusing men when a man behaves badly? Why is it that the conversation suddenly shifts to a woman's clothes, tone, or behavior? Men cheat, men lie, men act irresponsibly, but then women are told to cover up more or to be quieter or endure. Islam teaches personal accountability. Nobody sins on behalf of someone else. You sin on behalf of yourself and yourself only. You don't sin on behalf of someone else. Another painful one is shaming women for living harmful marriages. Like, for what? For what exactly? Women are told to be patient in situations that are destroying them emotionally, in situations that are destroying them mentally. Let me say this: patience is not accepting abuse, silence is not piety, and endurance is not righteousness when injustice is present. Let's be clear on this. The issue is not Islam. The real issue is people who love using Islam as a shield to avoid being questioned when they're wrong. So, once something is labeled as Islam, you are made to feel sinful for even asking. But the truth is, Islam welcomes questioning. I will say this again: Islam is never afraid of questioning. Oppression is, culture is, never Islam. If your version of Islam excuses cruelty, silences pain, and excuses abusers, then it's not Islam you are defending. It's power, it's ego, it's culture that refuses to evolve. Because Islam does not need abuse to survive. People just need accountability. We can respect religion without causing harm. Because Islam is not the problem. Culture that fears accountability is. So guys, if this video resonated with you, then like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep having honest conversations truthfully, bravely, and respectfully.